Do we need to reference the shirt then?
You don't need to just say. It doesn't matter, that's the joke, innit? Because my favourite thing is when we do this, people looking at it and going, you know your shirt messed with the green screen. It's like, I fucking know, I put it on, didn't I? Do you think we watched the footage back and went, no, that works, let's not redo this? The Last of Us is largely regarded as one of the finest video games released of the last generation of consoles, thanks in part to the engaging story involving perhaps the beardiest and sweariest characters in video gaming history, Ellie and Joel. However, despite Ellie being the main focal point of the entire game's story, the people making the game, Naughty Dog, had to fight to get her on the front cover of the video game itself.
I think by this point everybody has played The Last of Us.
I think most people have, yes. If you owned a PlayStation 3 or a PS4, you played The Last of Us, because that game sold a lot of copies. But I am aware that there might be some people out there who aren't fans of The Last of Us and are watching this video because you're a fan of me. So shout out to those people out there. So what we're going to do now is talk about The Last of Us and explain the basic plot of the entire game. So I think in a nutshell, you play as like, you know, a guy with a huge ass beard called Joel, who's punching his way through a post-apocalyptic like world filled with giant mushroom men infected with fungal spores. Like just roll with that bit. And you're supposed to be taking a young girl called Ellie, who is supposedly immune to this virus, to like, you know, some scientists who want to, you know, reverse engineer a cure, and things don't exactly go to plan. Also, the game has punch lasers in it.
Karl?
Yes, Brad?
What, pray tell, are punch lasers?
Well, Brad, thank you for asking that question that you were not at all prompted to ask by me, so I can explain it for the audience at home. Punch lasers are a thing that exists in the Last of Us game that I find fucking amazing. And basically, my understanding of how they work is that whenever the main character you play as, Joel, throws a punch, tiny little lasers shoot out from his fist to scan the environment you are in. So when you're in a fist fight with an enemy, what your fists do is detect what's in your environment. So for example, say you're punching the shit out of a guy next to a wall, this happens.
So these aren't literal lasers?
No, he doesn't actually fire lasers from his fist during gameplay, but the way that gameplay mechanic works is that, you know, internally, the game just shoots out millions of tiny beams out of Joel's fist to say, okay, what's the most sick, awesome, brutal way I can finish this bad guy off? And that's awesome. Because I remember like, when I found out that was a technology that existed within the game, I spent ages trying to figure out, okay, so what can I do these executions on? And I remember like kicking guys downstairs, like smashing their face into fireplaces, banisters, but the worst one, there's a bit where you're inside a building and there's like a marble countertop and you slam the guy's head down into it. It's like, that guy's dead. That guy's not going home. There is like, you know, a little post-apocalyptic wife and kids at home crying when Joel pulls that one off. And you know what? Joel doesn't care because Joel's got his beard. And have you seen like the PS4 version when they like upscaled it and the beard's even crisper?
No.
It's great. He's got such a crisp beard. It's amazing.
My beard's feeling a bit inferior now.
Yeah, so is mine. Now. Just to backtrack, punch lasers aside, Ellie is critically important to both the story and gameplay, which is presumably why Naughty Dog felt like she deserved a place on the cover. Apparently though, Sony disagreed.
So what did Sony want to do?
They wanted to move Ellie from the front of the box to the back of the box, because you know that's the place you normally put one of the game's two main characters. Because it's not like the entire story of The Last of Us revolves around Ellie or anything, is it?
Whatever happened to me is the key to finding a vaccine.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck you, man. I didn't ask for this.
Me neither.
So they just wanted Joel on his own?
Yeah, presumably holding a gun walking towards the camera, a la Call of Duty. So let's talk about this, because this is one of my favourite things about, like, you know, video games of that era, like around the 2010s, and it was man with gun walking towards camera. And we have a lot of video games dotted around this room that we can use as an example, but obviously they're all small and tiny. This one's green, and it'll fit with a green screen. Can you imagine like how annoying that'd be? So let's just put that back. And what Brad will do now, stop it. What Brad will do now is he'll put some examples behind us of like man with gun from video game walking towards camera. And it's so boring, and I hate it in video games. But there is one exception I will accept, and that's the cover for Doom 2016, because that cover is so generic, I kind of love it, because people made fun of it so much that I believe like a Bethesda, or however the fuck you pronounce that, got so embarrassed that they released a reversible cover for the game that had artwork reminiscent of the first Doom, which is sick awesome. Because I think there were memes going around about Doom 2016, the original cover of just Doom guy with gun facing camera not moving. And people were getting it and putting like cooking mama over the top of it and shit. And that reminds me a lot. Have you ever heard of the Okami? What happened with that?
No.
I believe they did Nintendo did a re-release of, or whoever it was who published it, a re-release of Okami for the Wii, but they didn't have any artwork. So what they did is they typed in on Google Okami and found a picture from IGN and then used that. The problem was it still had the IGN watermark on it. So you can zoom in and look at your cover of your game you just spent like 60 fucking pounds on and go, oh, there's an IGN watermark right on it. And Nintendo was so embarrassed by that, they released like free downloads of like these really high quality, awesome piece of artwork. And that's just great. I don't think anything can top though the Arkham City one. Have you seen that? The Game of the Year Arkham City one, put a picture of it behind me. A lot of people don't think it's real. And it's the one where they put on every single quote they could find. And it's just Batman, and he's been crowded on the front cover of a game titled Batman Arkham City, away from the cover of the game, by these quotes from fucking shit tier reviews saying this game's ace. So I know that's why it's the Game of the Year edition. And I don't understand, like, some marketing guy looked at that and went, yeah, that's gonna get the kids. And I believe it's not the case all around the world though. As evidenced by the existence of Angry Kirby. And people might not know about this, and I don't think you knew about this, I mentioned it before we started recording. The existence of Angry fucking Kirby. And it's a noticeable trend that people got really like, why is this a thing where on every American release of a Kirby game, Kirby's eyebrows always make him look like he's super fucking pissed for no real reason. It's like, usually it's the same box art, they just changed the eyebrows to make Kirby look pissed. And I think you better find, I don't know what the exact quote is, but a Nintendo representative explained and said like American audiences prefer aggressive games, so we make this cute puffball look really angry to appeal to an American audience. Moving back to The Last of Us, refreshingly, upon being asked to move Ellie to the back of the box, Naughty Dog said no, and in fact doubled down and put her right on the fucking front, as you can see here. And I quite like, Brad, how you might be able to put a bigger version behind me so people can see, but not only did they put Ellie on the front, they put her in front of Joel. And if you look on the back as well, on the back of the case, where they said they should relegate Ellie's position to, she's still in front of fucking Joel on it.
God damn it.
And I'm not sure if this is like a deliberate jab of the trend we mentioned earlier of gunman, but I do like, if you can zoom right in, you can see that Joel is in the atypical gunman pose, where he's just like looking moodily towards the camera with his gun by his side. It's like, oh, it looks, can you imagine if the cover was just that? Like, you wouldn't know what that fucking game was about. That could be anything. So am I playing Bioshock Infinite, or am I playing The Last of Us? I don't know. They look exactly the fucking same. Because that's what Bioshock Infinite is, isn't it? That was a similar case, where they took Elizabeth off the cover. Even though she, again, like with Ellie, is the main focal point in the entire fucking game, they removed her because they were scared, oh, no one's going to buy this game if there's a girl on the front. Even though that girl is fucking sick awesome and just like does fucking like knife cutters to enemies later in the game. Spoilers, you play as Ellie in this game and that scene's the best.
Come get me, you motherfuckers!
Do you know my favourite part about that though?
Yeah.
Because like, during that one scene, you get like this super high-powered, awesome like rifle for one like moment, and that rifle is so fucking good because it blows enemies completely the fuck apart. And I don't know if you better find a clip of this because I'm not sure if anyone would have done it, but if you upgrade your own rifle to max, it becomes as powerful as that rifle. And that rifle kills on that lower difficulty in one shot anyone on the body. And I used to go around and I exclusively killed every enemy that I found, like human enemy, by shooting them in the toe. Just because, when their friends come and find out what's going on, it's like, oh my god, this guy only killed all of our comrades by blowing off their fucking toes. That's the guy you're scared of. It's like you hear about this like weird like beardy man roaming the woods. It's like, what does he do? Well, he comes out of nowhere, he punches your head into like a cabinet, and then he blows your toe off and runs away. Because that's a fucking enemy right there. That's a guy you respect.
So why didn't they want Ellie on the cover?
Basically, Sony thought that people wouldn't buy the game if it had a girl on the front cover. Yeah, they've got that little faith in people who play video games. It's like, oh no, a girl on the cover. I don't want to play this game that's got amazing reviews and looks fucking awesome and I've heard about for months and months and months, and I saw a preview of it at E3 and looks sick awesome. It's got a girl on the cover. I can't play that. And refreshingly, Naughty Dog went, no, fuck that noise. Ellie is important to the story. She deserves to be on the cover, and put her right the fuck on there. And the game rightfully sold a shit ton of copies. And I was sort of juxtaposing that with, I think we mentioned earlier, Bioshock Infinite, which is in a similar situation where I think they put some pressure on the company and said, don't put Elizabeth on the cover. And they didn't. And the game cover looks like wank. I think we can describe it, objectively and fairly as a big bag of wank. And you know what? That game sucked ass anyway, so whatever. So we finished talking about The Last of Us and punch lasers, but I don't think we're quite done talking about sick, awesome box art. So what me and Brad have done is we've got some show and tell going on, and me and Brad have picked a couple of games each that we're going to show off that we like the box art of, and then we'll give our reasons for it for the class at home. So I'm going to start with Brad, and I don't know what he's picked, so I've got his games here, and the first one he picked is Crash Bandicoot Warped. So what are your reasons for picking Crash Bandicoot Warped?
The reason I've picked that one is because I knew we'd talk about Gunman. And right there is old Gunman.
That's not Gunman, that's Wampa Fruit Launcher Man. That's a fucking sick, awesome box. I love it. The thing is, that's the best Crash. I don't care what anyone says. Leather Jacket Crash is best Crash. If they had a plush of Crash with a leather jacket, I'd buy that shit in a heartbeat. I also love as well, if we're talking about Crash Bandicoot, can you please, for my own amusement, put in the clip from the first Crash Bandicoot game where it's hog wild, and that first moment when he sees the pig and he turns to all the camera and goes, and he raised the axe. That bit makes me crease every time. Alright, and then your second one is Legacy of Kain, Defiance. And I'll admit, I only played a couple of Legacy of Kain games and not all the way through. That is a good box. I love... What's the main character called in it again? Is it Kain?
Well, Kain is on the left and Raziel's on the right.
Raziel, I love that design for a character. It's a bit overdone now, isn't it, the scarf? Yeah. We had the year of the scarf where everyone, including Sonic, wore a fucking scarf. Well, it's a trendsetter.
He wears it because he's got no bottom jaw, so he covers it up with a...
That's awesome. That's such a cool character trait. And how does he talk?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know.
Oh.
I've never really figured it out.
Never figured, and that's why they do it. Oh man, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie Boogie's Revenge. And we talked earlier about them putting no effort into cheap cash-in games, but they clearly put some effort in here. So we've got all that Jack Skelly Bob there.
The reason why I picked that one is because
Mr. Hot Topic himself.
I saw that when I heard about that game, I was like, oh, it's obviously just a cash grab because they're making a sequel to an old classic.
Yeah.
But then I saw the cover and I was like, oh my god. All three Jacks paused together with Oogie in the background.
And it's even made by Capcom, so it's got to be good. They made Devil May Cry. Then again, they also made a load of shitty Street Fighter games as well, so maybe the combat's not great. We'll never know, will we? And I've got two picks. My first one is Vanquish, which cost £2 when I bought it, 6 years ago. And if you look, it's got a holographic cover that bounces back and forwards. Do you know why? What? Because this game is all about speed. If you can put a clip in of someone playing it, maybe me playing it, because I played it on stream once. What do you do? How do you fight this? This game is all about moving at rocket speed by sliding around on your ass like a jackass. And we can go get a better look at the game. This is Gunman, but this is Gunman to the extreme. This is Shin Gunman, true Gunman right here. Because he's sliding at hypersonic speeds, firing a machine gun. But that's representative of the game itself, because that's literally all you do. You can complete the game in 2 hours by sliding around on your asshole, firing a machine gun. And that's fucking awesome. And the other one, you might not be able to see it, but it's a personal favourite of mine. It's my personal copy of Super Metroid for the SNES.
That is an old game.
It is, but I actually have somewhere in storage, the actual poster. I got a poster made of that, and it's going to get framed on my wall when I get my next place. Because I fucking love Metroid, which, it's not really clear, is it?
No, I don't think you haven't mentioned it in any way
or
reference your love of Metroid.
It's weird, isn't it? If only there was some way people could tell how much I fucking love this game, but now they do. Because I love Metroid.